affirmations or robotic affirming. I'm doing robotic affirming for the next 30 days, but I'm doing 30 days of live streams as well. This is day 15. Today's stream is about a lady called Lindsay from Ohio who manifested $5,000. Before I get into it, I have a link in my bio for my 33 Digital Abundance Challenge. And this is for anyone who wants to level up their income identity shifting and inspired action. And it's got 2 guides in there that can help you along your way. So you can check that link out in the bio. I'm going to wait for anyone who wants to come into the live. But replay, you can just, or if you're listening on the replay, you can just fast forward it to when I start talking about the story. So this is a story time. This is a story time. I'm preparing to do my live on TikTok, my Friday night live on TikTok. But let's get into this. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. On this live stream, I'm also going to be doing a non-denominational financial overflow prayer at the end of the session. And I'll also do some robotic affirmations. Well, give you some robotic affirmations that you can say as well. You know what? I'm really thinking about streaming on Instagram, but I'm not too sure about it. What do you think? I used to stream on Instagram with my old page. I'm considering getting back on there. But I'll wait a sec for anyone to jump into the live, and then we'll take it from there. Friday night. For me, it is 8:40 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. What time is it, wherever you are in the world? I really love doing these story times. And from next week, I'm going to really start showing my face a bit more on this channel. But I've been doing these audio ones because I just prefer them. Okay. Welcome to the stream. Where is everyone watching from or listening from? We're going to be doing a story time talking about a lady called Lindsay from Ohio who manifested $5,000 to pay off her debt, and she used robotic affirmations. At the end of the stream, I'm going to be doing a prayer for financial overflow. It will be a non-denominational prayer for financial overflow. So if you're struggling financially and you need something like this, stay tuned to the end because I will be doing this prayer. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the chat as well. And I do have something called a Digital Abundance Challenge in my bio as well. You can grab that if you're someone who is really interested in building a digital business, but you need help with your mindset. Okay, let's get into this. So we're talking about Lindsay from Ohio who manifested $5,000, and the technique she used was robotic affirmations. So the reason why she wanted to manifest this money in the first place. Now, I'm not showing my face today. This is an audio piece, I'm afraid. Won't be showing my face. Thank you. It wasn't a luxury debt. It wasn't about shopping sprees and living a lifestyle or whatever it was. She had some debts to pay. You know, if you're here to listen about the story for the lady who manifested $5,000, great. But if you're here for something else, then it might not be the thing for you to be watching or listening to because I'm not showing my face. I'm just going to be doing an audio piece as part of my 30 days of robotic affirming and 30 days of live streaming. What do all these numbers mean? No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. The number wasn't a massive number, but to her nervous system, it felt urgent, heavy, and pressing. So every notification felt like bad news waiting to happen. She started avoiding her banking app, avoiding emails, and avoiding conversations about money as well. So what made it worse was the constant mental loop. She kept on asking herself, how am I going to fix this? What if I fall further behind? And what does it feel like if I can't catch up? So one evening, she was so tired from trying to figure it out, she decided to stop trying to emotionally fix her money situation. Instead, she chose something simple: robotic affirmations. No forcing belief, no pretending she felt rich, no dramatic visualization sessions, just repetition. So she picked one sentence. And that sentence was, I always have more money than enough money. I always have more than enough money. That was the sentence she picked. Very simple and very easy to remember. I always have more than enough money. That was it. She repeated it in the shower, while commuting, while folding laundry, before sleeping, and whenever she had the chance to. So she repeated it like while she was cooking and other stuff as well, while she was just sitting around, just doing nothing. She repeated it. I'm going to say this. What I do with my robotic affirmations is I like to write them out. I like to listen to them. I also like to, I record them on my Parrot app, and I listen to them on my Parrot app. And then I also like to listen, write them out, and speak them out as well. Another thing I like doing is putting the affirmations on Post-it notes around the room, on the mirrors, just putting them everywhere. And so it reminds me to keep repeating it every time. Another thing you can do is set an alarm to repeat your affirmations. When her mind pushed back with, that's not true, she didn't debate it. She didn't try to change it. She just said an affirmation again. She just kept repeating this same one. I always have more than enough money. This is where the power of robotic affirming becomes clear. The brain accepts what it hears most often. So repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity reduces resistance. So when resistance drops, your nervous system stops operating in survival mode. So the reason why I like robotic affirmations is because you don't have to do anything to try and pretend this happened already and pretend. You just have to keep saying it. You just have to keep saying it, because your brain eventually will respond to the repetition. And your nervous system will eventually respond to the repetition. And eventually your outer reality will respond to the repetition. It's like by force. You're forcing your way through, because eventually the old story is just going to get forced out. It's going to get pushed out. If you keep persisting, you flood your brain with it. There's a lady on TikTok called Nikkei. She calls herself Nikkei, not Nike. And she is a neuroscience enthusiast, as well as a manifestation expert. And she talks about how she manifested $10,000 in a couple of days by just robotic affirming. She kept repeating, money finds me, money finds me, money finds me, money finds me easily, money comes to me easily, money. She just kept repeating it. It was like a ritual. And she said that she repeated it so much that she had a headache. You see? Let me repeat this thing here. The brain accepts what it hears most often, and repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity reduces resistance. And when resistance drops, your nervous system stops operating in survival mode. And when you're no longer operating from panic, you make different choices, You notice different opportunities and you respond instead of react. So after about 2 weeks, Lindsay felt a subtle shift. So it didn't happen overnight. You know, you do see some stories on TikTok and YouTube where people say, oh, I did this robotic affirming and the next day I saw results. It was amazing. It took, 2 weeks had gone by and she didn't have the results, but there was a subtle shift. She wasn't spiraling anymore. She wasn't she wasn't like going into a frenzy all the time. She wasn't wavering. She felt steadier. The debt still existed, but it didn't dominate her thoughts. Then things started moving. A freelance client she hadn't heard from in months reached out with an urgent project and quick payment. A small but unexpected tax refund arrived. A friend repaid money she had mentally written off. 2 items she had listed online weeks ago suddenly sold at full price. One by one, the amounts accumulated. 4 weeks after the starting robotic affirmations, she checked the total and it was $5,247. Enough to pay off the urgent debts completely, but the deeper shift wasn't the number. The deeper shift here wasn't the number. She managed to manifest the money. It took 4 weeks. Some people might say 4 weeks is too long because they want instant money. But I tell you what, if you're looking at this from the standpoint of the law of assumption and you believe that whatever you assume to be true is true, you can actually assume that you manifest pretty much whatever you want in a week. I'm not telling you to be realistic here, but you have to think about it from the standpoint of where you are. So if you've never made $1,000 in a month, then maybe you can say, right, I'm going to do a $3,000 month instead. And so you can start saying, I have $3,000, I have $3,000, I have $3,000. And you could actually affirm that you manifest everything in a week, or I manifest everything in 3 days, or I manifest everything very quickly. So for her, Lindsay, who manifested this $5,000, the deeper shift wasn't the number, it wasn't the amount of money, it was identity. She stopped identifying as someone who was behind. She stopped expecting financial disaster, and she began expecting support. Robotic affirmations work because they recondition identity without emotional strain. You're not trying to convince yourself, you are training your mind for repetition. And identity drives behavior, and behavior influences opportunity, and opportunity produces results. Let me say that again for those at the back that didn't hear. Identity drives behavior, behavior influences opportunity, and opportunity produces results. So after clearing her debt, Lindsay added more robotic affirmations specifically for overflow, not just for survival. And so here are some that supported her next level. So here are some robotic affirmations that you could include in your arsenal of robotic affirmations. I like to have a book that has the robotic affirmations in there that I can pick from whenever I want. Do you know what sometimes is really cool to do, and it's really fun, is to have a jar of robotic affirmations for a specific thing that you're trying to affirm, or that you're affirming for. I don't want to use the word try, that you're affirming for. And you can say one of those affirmations for a period of time, so a couple of days, but the affirmations, they all mean the same thing, so it doesn't matter. And then after a couple of days, you can pick out another affirmation and you can say that one repeatedly, but it all means the same thing. So listen to some of these affirmations. I live in financial overflow. Money increases for me every day. I'm always provided for and protected financially. Large sums of money flow to me easily. My income expands consistently. I'm aligned with wealth and prosperity. There's always more than enough. I receive more than I expect. Financial overflow is my normal. My life reflects abundance. She would loop 1 or 2 of these daily, calmly, without emotional pressure, and her relationship with money continued to soften and strengthen at the same time. So can you see how powerful these robotic affirmations are? it calmed her the robotic affirmations calmed her nervous system, and eventually she stopped wavering and focusing on what was going on around her, focusing on the 3D, and started to lean into the identity of that person who always has more than enough. That's the key. That's the key. So let me repeat those last affirmations that I just said, and you can pick one or two of them, or you can pick all of them, and you can repeat them as much as you want. Who doesn't want to manifest more money? Who doesn't want to manifest more money anyway? I'm going to say these affirmations again, and at the end of this, I'm going to say a non-denominational prayer for financial overflow. I live in financial overflow. Money increases for me every day. I am always provided for and protected financially. Large sums of money flow to me easily. My income expands consistently. I am aligned with wealth and prosperity. There is always more than enough. I receive more than I expect. Financial overflow is my normal. My life reflects abundance. So those were some of the affirmations that she said, and some of the affirmations that you can say if you're looking for more money. I mean, I can't think why you wouldn't want more money. Even people that are billionaires still want more money. So these type of affirmations are affirmations that anyone can say. So I'm going to end the stream with a non-denominational prayer for financial overflow and abundance, and I will leave some space at the end for anyone who wants to ask a question. So let's get into this non-denominational prayer. Infinite source of supply, creator of all provision, I release fear around money and open myself to overflow. Guide me into wise decisions, aligned opportunities, and unexpected support. Help me see possibilities where I once saw problems. Remove anxiety from my heart and replace it with trust. May financial blessings flow to me in ways that feel natural, steady, and sustainable. May my work create value and be rewarded generously. May I always have more than enough to meet my needs and bless others. I am open, I am receptive, I am supported, and so it is. I'd like to repeat this prayer again because I think it's really powerful. For anyone who needs it, anyone who is struggling financially and needs some support or hope. Infinite source of supply, creator of all provision, I release fear around money and open myself to overflow. Guide me into wise decisions, aligned opportunities, and unexpected support. Help me see possibilities where I once saw problems. Remove anxiety from my heart and replace it with trust. May financial blessings flow to me in ways that feel natural, steady, and sustainable. May my work create value and be rewarded generously. May I always have more than enough to meet my needs and bless others. I am open, I am receptive, I am supported, and so it is. I really hope that helped anyone who needs a financial miracle or is in need of a financial miracle or financial blessing. I really hope that helped you. And definitely come back for more, because tomorrow it's going to be day 9 of my 30 days of live streaming and 30 days of robotic affirmations. And tomorrow is going to be a robotic affirmation session. I'm going to be doing a saturation session. I'll be doing 20 minutes saturation session in intervals of 5 minutes. So altogether it'll be a 40-minute saturation session, but I'll be doing them in intervals of 5 minutes. So it'll be eight robotic affirmation saturation sessions tomorrow in batches of 5 minutes. And it's all going to be based around abundance and financial overflow. So if anyone's interested in all of that, then join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. I will be on here doing these affirmations for anyone who really needs it. And I'll also be doing a non-denominational financial overflow prayer as well. Thank you so much for joining, and see you soon. Take care.